Right, here we go. Let's try a little video as we drive to my next pupil. Let's go through a little bit of work on gears. There's always that temptation to change gear too early where you don't really need it. So, my bad, should have done my English before I started off. So, because of the limited view now, we're going to go into gear 1 because we can't see. So always try to remember, the lower the speed, or the less you can see, the lower the speed, the lower the speed, the lower the gear is going to be. So listen now, I'm not using maximum revs, 10 to 15 we're in gear 2. You notice now the car is much more relaxed rather than using full revs as we drive. And the same goes through every gear. You don't need to give it full revs on every gear. So, what we're going to work on, like I said, in lessons, when we're slowing the car down, we use the brakes to do that job. So we're just ease the gas off now, and we're braking lightly. So as my speed comes down, around about 20, we're going to block it into 2, clutch slowly. Go into gear 3, only to come straight back down again and make it work for itself. When you go straight ahead towards back, leave it in gear 2 for now. Again, no point in going up. We're looking across the road right now. Now that speed increases again, up into gear 3. Hopefully you notice the difference between the sound of the car now and how it was earlier. But we're not overworking the engine. I'm not sure how this video is going to work out because that's wedged it in the headrest. I'm not sure what you're going to be seeing. So we're just approaching the traffic lights now, so we've done our mirrors, and all I'm doing now is just concentrating purely on my braking and my position. Just before we stop, we're going to drop the clutch so we don't get that vibration. If you feel when you're braking the car does vibrate a little bit, then you can change gear, you can go down to a lower gear. There's no hard and fast rules. We're just trying to minimise the amount of work we're doing in the car. Trying to make it that little bit easier. Remember the words we use, a little bit, every time. I'm not sure what you can see with this blue car, but I'm just holding back so we can still see the bottom of the wheels. The reason for that, if that car was to stall or break down, we've got room to manoeuvre around it, or if we got hit from behind, we're not going to get shunted forwards onto the vehicle in front. So remember the saying, tyres and tarmac. So gear 1, little check around the car, ready to drive away. So going left at the roundabout, we're going mirror, left signal. To approach the left lane, and as we come round, we clear to the right. So as we go round now, I'm going to pick up the middle lane to go straight over. So the middle lane becomes the left lane. I hold one lane, left signal, left lane to leave. Finish steering, then we do the gear. Looking ahead now, lights on red, so we're just easing the gas, lightly braking. Again, no gears. If the lights were to change, then we'll take the gear down. But at the moment, it's still red, so braking lightly, clutch down. Again, tyres and tarmac into gear 1. No point for the handbrake because we're moving. If you notice with the gears, I'm not rushing the gears. Try and think of a hot knife going through butter. Really light, really easy to use. There's no stress with it. And that's easy enough now in case the lights change. Braking lightly, again no gear because we're stopping. So we go handbrake on, into gear 1, ready to go. We're going to turn left at this second set of traffic lights where the blue car's going. We've done a mirror, left signal, again just braking lightly. Had the lights have changed to green a little bit earlier, we would have popped it into gear 2. What we're going to do now, early gear 2 now, ready to steer. Remember what I was saying before, there, by going into gear 2, I'm using the lower point of that gear, rather than being in gear 1 at the upper point of the gear. So we're going to do a right in this mini roundabout. So we've done a mirror, right signal, just braking. Then as we get close to the roundabout, now we go gear 2, and we look and we go. All the brakes and gears are done before we get there, and we're driving it away. Hopefully it makes it look a little bit effortless. Now braking lightly for the crossing, that's reducing the speed down. Remember saying now, looking for the space. By holding the car back, we're not stopping. We keep the car rolling. I don't know if you can see that car braking. So I'm reducing my speed a little bit here and let it clear. I'm taking this next left, that's the mirror, left signal, again braking my speed down, and now the gear. It's a nice big steer into the corner. Now because of how built up it is, I'm keeping my speed really low. We're not sure what we're going to find coming around this corner. So I'm literally in gear 2, doing just over 10 miles an hour. So we're at the bottom end of gear 2. Keeping the speed down because we can't see around this bend. As the view clears, we start to bring our speed up a little bit. So as your speed comes up, your gear comes up to follow. So because this car has compromised our position, we're going to bring the speed right down to walking pace. We're going straight into gear 1. I'm still going to try and move slightly back into the left. So in here, just going to hold back for this car reversing. You've got to assume that they haven't seen us. And it just makes it effortless. Rather than rushing into the situation, we anticipate rather than react. Try and think in 2 words. We don't want to react, we anticipate. Gives yourself more time. So I'm going to pull up on the left here, ready for my next pickup. So I'm just going to pull up on the left. And there, we'll just turn the video off. Hope this is okay.